Telling you guys right now, this thing has potential for figure of the year. This deco is phenomenal. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another toy review. And these two were a surprise. I was out shopping around this week and kind of forgot about these guys. Thought I was caught up on Mo2, Masterverse, New Eternia, that sort of thing. But ran into both of these, and man, we are going to have two really nice figures here. Look at this one. That is, man, does that look good. We will definitely take a closer look at this merman. I wasn't planning on getting this, but I saw him on the pegs, and I was like, whoa, really, really looks cool. So I can't wait to get Merman open. Also got Man of War here. This one I did know about. I was planning on getting him. I would say this would be a good army builder too. So I probably won't do that just due to shelf space, but Man of War looks really good too. So let's take a quick look at the packaging real quick. Here's Man of War, starting out with him. Looks good. It looks really good. I'm going to assume we're going to get the same kind of articulation, same kind of thing. But it looks like we might get some bonuses in here. So you guys can see there's a clear helmet, and then there's more of a, well, let's see. Maybe it's just a clear helmet. I don't know. We'll see. We got to open it up and find out. But a nice little blast effect with a blaster and some nice colors. I like the white with the gold deco. So that looks really cool. But I think the star of the show is going to be Merman. Just look at this thing. Probably one of the coolest decoed figures I have seen in quite some time, just by looking at him through the packaging. And man, this is looking really good. Look at the product images on the back. It looks like he's going to have a little bit of flame there. Got a spear, got a sword, and I'm really excited for this. Again, I wasn't going to get him, but man, after seeing him, really excited to open this one up. So let's do it. You guys get 2 for 1 on this. Let's see how good these figures are. All right, guys, all out of the package, and there's definitely a clear winner on who's the best here. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at Man of War first. A cool figure, but there is some issues here. Yeah, some interesting design choices. Breakups in the sculpt when you try to pose it, and some loose joints and some really stiff joints. So, as you can see, I've got the mask on. Now, it was a question to me if it was going to be another helmet, another head, whatever it was. Well, it is just a mask that goes over the top of his face. So you've got these couple little grooves there that you just want to slide in, and the mask will go. The mask is cool. I like the translucent red. That looks really cool. So a nice looking mask there. That looks really cool. No complaints there. Head sculpt obviously is cool too. We don't really have any problems with that. That looks good. Head moves pretty nice on a ball joint. Goes back pretty far. Look up really good. And he can look down. But if he looks down, just like typical Man-at-Arms will, he's just going to be staring at that. So no real point looking down. Also, it turns nicely. Main issues are on this arm right here. This is a weird design. I do like the blaster. I like the effect. One problem with the effect, it barely goes in. You can kind of see all that extra bit of peg there. The hole's actually not really that deep for the blaster itself. So it's on good, but not great. See, that didn't take much force. The blast effect itself really is pretty cool though. That's a nice blast effect. It's not flimsy. It's not like a Hasbro one. This thing's solid. You can see that I'm trying to move it. Doesn't move. So that's a very good blast piece. Now, this arm. This arm. Okay, so one thing I wish they would do, I wish they would glue down like these extra pads, these shoulder pads. Same problem happened with the original Man-at-Arms from New Eternia earlier this year, where this thing just kind of flops around. You can see right here it's flopping around and stuff. Also, this arm is interchangeable with this part right here. And this just looks weird. It's like he's just got a big old ball for a hand. Well, why couldn't we have taken this concept and just made it a full arm and just had something attached over the hand? That would have made more sense to me instead of having a whole nother forearm piece where you have to switch them out. One weird thing about this is Okay, it comes off. You see there's no peg. We've got no peg at all. There's no peg on the hand. There's no peg inside. What you need to do is basically get it on the really far in there. You can kind of see there's that little circular area. You need to get this part inside of there and basically just smash it till it clicks in. And you can see, so here's what I'm saying. This just flops around. That sucks. That's stupid. Glue it down, Mattel. Glue it down. That's not working, man. This arm is a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. That arm is a pain. We're going to take this off just for right now. But that's the way that works. You got to peg it in there. So it's going to be the same thing when you're messing with this arm. And it's not the easiest thing to do. We'll kind of try to do it right now. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, see, it's not even. I was doing this review and it came off. This is like the third take of this review because it just kept coming off. But I've got it on there fairly good now. You can turn it. You can use the elbow. It kills the elbow joint, by the way. It absolutely kills it. That's as far as his elbow is going to go with that. So that sucks. I think this is stupid. I think it's a stupid design, and I think it was just not well thought out. Why can't we just take in the ball, had an extra piece, or just a wrist piece? You know, let's just have the wrist removable. Why do we need the whole damn forearm? I don't get that at all. Bad choice by Mattel. As far as the rest goes, the paint's really cool. You can see the silver comes across really nice. Gunmetal silver looks good. The white, the gold, all looks good. This is just standard articulation. We've got shoulders. These are very stiff. I'm not going to move the shoulders because in the previous clips, I moved it, nearly broke it. So we're not going to do that. He has biceps, double elbows, as usual. Where the sculpt kind of has some problems and where the articulation kind of messes with the sculpt is on the legs. You can see that breaks up the sculpt and it just doesn't look right when you're doing the thighs. Let's move that up. You can see there too, it breaks up the sculpt. So I don't like that. I don't like it when they design stuff to where you want to pose it in extreme poses and then it breaks up the sculpt. I don't like that at all, but it is what it is. Double knees, very stiff as well. But gets good range. And then on my copy, this ankle is super loose. I don't like that. It's been hard to get him to stand. He'll probably actually need a stand. This one is fine. Rocker up and down. So there you go. There is Man of War, a pretty okay figure. I mean, he's not even close to being the best of this group. So there's that. Two big issues is the pauldron and switching out the arm. So we're going to give him a 6 out of 10. I would say, however, though, you could army build this guy. You know, you could have somewhere, you know, if you want a bunch of soldiers with the mask. The mask actually does go on pretty well, mostly, if you can get it on straight. You got to get it on straight, though. Focus, camera. Focus, camera. See, it won't even pick it up. The camera won't even pick it up because it's not on straight. So the mask does take a little bit of fiddling. Let's see if I can get it on for you guys real quick here. It's not the best. It's just poor design choices. An alternate head probably would have been better. But yeah, I could definitely see you guys army building this if you want to put up with all this stuff that I just outlined. But there he is, Man of War, 6 out of 10. I mean, unless you really are into the character, I'd pass on him. Let's get to Merman. All right, this may be one of the best painted figures I have in my entire collection. The paint on this guy is absolutely crazy, and that's really what drew me to him. This Merman is insane. Now, I'll do a comparison for you guys here in just a minute after we go over him, but when I first saw this guy, I was like, oh, I don't need him. I've got a good Merman. The last New Eternity Merman is pretty good, but I'll tell you what, it is nothing. Nothing compared to this one. You guys want a Merman? Get this Merman. This thing is phenomenal. No complaints about this. I'll just tell you right now, he is a 9.99 out of 10. I don't think there's such thing as a perfect figure, but this is about as close as you can get to a perfect figure. Let's go over why he's perfect. First thing is this cool staff. Now, this staff is very well done. The one little tiny gripe I got about this staff is on the back of the packaging. It shows this to be more of a flame effect, and it's really not, but that's okay. The grain is done really nicely. It's hardly bendable at all. You remember we looked at the Darth Maul last video, and it was just bendier than hell. This hardly bends at all. It does a little bit, but overall, it's very good quality. It looks really nice. There's paint on it. Nice transparent there for the sash, and looks really good. You also get this sword. Now, this sword, unfortunately, is a little more bendy. You can see it's got some bend to it, but it came out nice and straight. And again, great paint on it. I like the teal there, the gunmetal, and then the nice green for the blade. Looks really good. Sculpting's nice. The one thing that is a little bit of a hindrance is this giant peg. And the reason that giant peg is there is so that you can peg it on his back, which pegs very nicely. That's not going anywhere. I mean, not at all. So that works well. I mean, if you're going to have a peg that big, at least make it to where it's going to go on and it's going to stay on. Mattel did a great job with that. So this sword is cool. Again, mine came out pretty clean, but it is pretty bendy. So just watch out for that. But I think as long as you can kind of mess with it a little bit, it'll be just fine. So another great weapon that he comes with. Also got 2 extra pairs of hands, more the open hands. I'm not going to be using these because I want to hold them both weapons, obviously. But again, a nice greenish, yellowish paint. And you can kind of tell on the camera, it really glistens nicely. It's nice and crisp. No real issues. I kind of wish they painted the fingernails, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, getting to Merman himself. Again, one of the best parts of this figure. Look at those eyes. These eyes are not just painted on. These are actual clear eyes that have almost been inserted. You can kind of tell there. It's not just painted on. They've given it that, you know, that fish vibe to it. You know, when you catch a fish and they've got that kind of glass eye look. They nailed it. I mean, they absolutely nailed it with that. That's phenomenal. Plus, the head sculpt is, I mean, it's Merman through and through. It's perfect. It's just, oh, it is a great figure. It's so well done. The chest looks great. The gold and the copper, the green, it just all works together. Some nice airbrushing on his armor. The back has some nice airbrushing back there too. And then the skin, it's going to come across more of a blue on camera, but it is like it's more of a green. I mean, a greenish blue. And then they did a nice transition there as well. Again, you get the nice armor down here on the feet. I kind of wish they painted the nails again, but Mattel doesn't usually do that, so it is what it is. Articulation, once again, is pretty much just the same. It's not like it's any different. Pretty much every Mo2 Masterverse figure has the same articulation, but we'll go over it real quick. So he can look down very, very well. That looks great. He can look up, not really. Let's push him a little. Not too much. A little bit. Side, you're going to get, look at the nice expression you get too. Beautiful. One thing that may have made this figure just a tiny bit better, maybe an open jaw, but I think it's good the way it is. Head does move good. No complaints there. Shoulders, again, very stiff. Not going to move those, but they will go up and down. They're on a ball joint, of course. Bicep, double elbow, which does very nicely. No problems there. I didn't think, when I was messing with him, I did not think that he had a waist. He doesn't really have a waist. It's more of an ab. But it does work. You're going to not get much crunch on him at all due to the armor. You will get him to go back pretty far, though. Back's not too bad. And then side, side. Again, the armor is restricting it. So you're not going to get a lot out of that, but I don't really think you need it. Both hands have hinges that go in and out. They turn. Again, this doesn't break up. This breaks up the sculpt a little bit on the thighs, kind of we talked about with Man of War, but it's not as bad. It's just the muscular tones that are being broke up with the sculpt. So it's not quite as obvious. Knees, again, very stiff. I'm not going to push that one. Let's see. No. Double knees. You guys know what it's about. Boot cut. That's great. And then get some nice range of motion and some nice rocker with the feet. So there you go. It is a typical Masterverse figure, but deco-wise, figure of the year deco-wise, from figures I've gotten. So there you go. There is Merman. Let's go ahead and get the new Eternia Merman, and we'll do a quick comparison, let you guys know why you need this one. I mean, look at the difference. I'm shocked. I really thought the new Merman was going to be just, you know, another kind of updated version of this one. This one is about as flat and dull as you can get. Still a good figure. I still like it. but his eyes are just painted. He has no real paint. Everything's just kind of the color you would expect. There's no airbrushing of any kind. I mean, look at the difference in the head sculpts. It's night and day. This is your classic. This is more of your new style with Revolution and that type of thing. But I mean, I still like this figure, but it can't come even close. This is like a 6.5. This is a 9.99. Guys, if you're a Merman fan, I am. So I like to have a variety of Mermans, but go for this one. This one you really don't need. This is the one you need. You don't need this. So I'm happy to have both of them, but this one is going to be front and center in my collection. He'll be standing right next to Skeletor. And what a difference we're seeing here just in the paint. Articulation's the same, but wow. And this one only came with one sword. He comes with a staff and a sword, so there's that as well. But this is a great figure. I'm very, very happy for it. Again, 9.99 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. I would say don't get this one. Go get this one. Find it. It'll probably be the hard one to find in the wave. So there you go. Merman, sweet figure. That's the review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.